2019, we finally made it. I want to thank you guys for enjoying the channel and watching it and supporting it for another year. We finally eclipsed over 600 subscribers. I am blessed to do that. And for 2020, let's go for 1K. That's one of the goals. That's one of the dreams. Let's go for it, guys. So these are my best films, my biased and unprofessional opinion of these films. So I'm not going to go in depth and explain what the movie is about and what it is, because I have reviews for that. But there are a couple of movies that I have seen that I didn't get a chance to review because I have been dealing with some personal issue. So without further ado, let's get this going. And did your favorite film make it to the list? Find out. Let's get into number 10. Number 10 was Uncut Gems. This movie was an anxiety-driven film. This was directed by the Safdie brothers, and Adam Sandler plays this jeweler who is being chased by loan sharks. This movie is basically a life of him dodging criminals, loan sharks, just to protect his family and protect his assets. This was a transformative performance from Adam Sandler. I was at the edge of my seat. This is a movie you gotta check out and just watch this movie. This is an experience. So here is number 9. Number 9 is Us. Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele is a really good writer. He's a really good director. He's really good at making good content. In this movie, I was taken aback from Lupita Nyong'o's performance, and it basically revolves around this family that has this doppelganger problem. Also, you can watch this movie and you can have your own theories. This is a movie that you can get the people talking and talk amongst yourselves and have theories and stuff like that. I had a few theories that Jordan Peele kind of negated, so it kind of negates itself anyway. But still, this is a really good movie, great performances. It was also funny, had a good balance in between two of humor and the violent sequences. It was a really good movie. Knives Out is a movie I didn't get a chance to review on my channel, but I have to say that this movie was a really good movie that deserves to be the number 8. It was written well by Rian Johnson. It was directed by Rian Johnson. Great performances throughout, and it revolves around the murder of this billionaire who happened to commit suicide, but this private investigator who's being played by Daniel Craig, oh my goodness, he suspects foul play, and he has to interview and interrogate other characters. Yes, I still enjoyed this movie. It's definitely entertaining. I had a blast. I was enjoying itself. Chris Evans definitely did a fantastic job, and I was laughing my butt off. Wow, this definitely deserves number 8, but it's not as good as number 7. Number 7 has to be Dr. Sleep. It's directed by one of my favorite directors of all time. Strong words. My second favorite horror director of all time. I was a little too excited there. Yes, it's directed by Mike Flanagan, and he directed his butt off in this movie. This is a movie that's a sequel to The Shining, and he did a really good job of answering some of the questions that you kind of had while you're watching The Shining. And the film has a good cohesive story that focuses on its character development and focuses on the execution of their character plots and motives. Now I was just really blown away of how good the writing was in this movie. You'll be entertained. There's not a moment in this movie where you'll be bored. And if you've seen The Shining, if you like The Shining, you'll definitely like this movie. It was well written, good performances from its characters. It definitely deserves to be on my list, but it's not as good as number 6. Number 6 has to be Ford v Ferrari. Yes, you don't have to be, I'm not a race car fan, or I'm not a car fan. I have a car, but I know how to fix cars just to a certain extent, but I'm not really advanced at it. You don't have to love cars to watch this movie. Christian Bale and Matt Damon's character are team up together. They're part of this team. They're trying to create a car to win this race for the company Ford, because they're competing with their rival Ferrari. The film had high stakes. The film had some great emotional performances. You will get into the characters. You will feel a little bit emotional. Christian Bale's performance was fantastic. He blended into the character. He's really known for doing this, so it's pretty much is a formality at this point. It'll leave you biting your nails. Definitely an entertaining movie you gotta check out. So yes, shout out to 4V Ferrari, but it's not as good as number 5. Taking a big giant dump on the audience, but that dump is like pure gold and it smells like heaven. And basically 1917 basically is definitely deserves to be on the list in my top 5. This is the definition of pure cinematic brilliance. This movie was directed by Sam Mendes. He directed Skyfall, and it basically revolves around these no-name soldiers that has to go across enemy lines to leave a message for their general because they're being ambushed by the enemy. The stakes were high in this movie. The movie is an edge of your seat experience, and the way this movie was directed, it was all one shot. Or it was directed as if it was one shot. There were like a few small little cuts that you gotta watch closely to see. It's those quiet moments, like when they're just sneaking around and it's so quiet, like in the darkness in the woods, and you think that next step, either they get blown up, shot up, ate up, or fall to their deaths and die. You don't know. Every step is crucial. Number 4, John Wick 3 was just mind-boggling. It blew me away. It's pretty much a violent, non-stop, nonsensical action. It's like getting shot in the head with some awesome cinematic brilliance. This is definitely one of my favorite films, my favorite action movies of all time. Now, check it out. You will have a fantastic time watching this movie. I guarantee you that. And here's number 3. Number 3 is The Irishman. Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino. They play these real-life characters in this biopic about this hitman that's working for the mob, and it revolves around the disappearance of Congressman Jimmy Hoffa. And this was a quiet, reserved movie that broke down the character's mindset. So this movie was a character study and a meditation on his characters, and the dialogue brings you in. Despite this movie being over 3 hours long and 25 minutes, it definitely deserves it, but it's not as good as number 2. Number 2 has to be Joker. Yes, Joker definitely deserves to be on the list. This is like it's great. You know where I stand. I'm not going to go into the details. This is a controversial movie as it is. This was basically a really good movie. It basically showcased a story about a man, what would happen if a man was being broken down by society and he turns into a persona somewhat like the Joker. It definitely mind-boggled me from the performances of Joaquin Phoenix. He definitely was transformative. He blended into the role. He definitely deserves an Oscar, hands down. But I bet you're shocked. What is number 1? I bet you're wondering what's number 1. But before I get to number 1, here are the honorable mentions. The movies that are good enough, they're good, but wasn't good enough to make it to the list. Here they are. Number 1 is Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. Yes, I know. Number 1 has to be Parasite. This was a fantastic movie. If not probably the best Korean film I've seen in a long ass time. This is definitely one of the funniest movies of the year still, and also has some good horror elements. But still, it was really fun, reserved, and has a good message revolving around class discrimination. It deals with this family that's, you know, trying to be swindled, this rich family. Twists and turns scattered throughout. You will know what to expect. Definitely, you'll be entertained watching this movie, so definitely check it out. So that's my top 10 of Batmantastic films of 2019. The year's almost over, but I got one last video left. I'll let you guys know I will no longer go with the Suicide Squad. I'm going to change it up into something else. More likely, I'll change it into the top 10 worst bat nipples or bat nips of the year. I just have a problem going with Suicide Squad because there's other people out there that's committing suicide. So, you know, I don't want to. So yeah, that kind of rubbed me in the wrong way just thinking about it. So I just want to change it to something different. So stay tuned for my top 10 worst films of 2019. It's coming to your way next. So if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batmantastic reviews on the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.